Hello, this is Ashley here from Ash Tree Original Art, and here I'm painting two cranes. I'm forming the necks and bodies with big brush strokes, and I'm attempting to get some blue gradation in there. This effect is achieved by soaking the brush in one shade of ink, while dipping the very tip of it in a more saturated ink. This style of painting is done with ink that is diluted with water, so it's important to remember that colors will dry lighter than they appear. I'm working back into the painting with a dry brush technique to get some texture. I have very little ink on there, and I spread the bristles out on a paper towel before I touch the brush to the paper. I also use a fine brush for small details. There are less bristles to absorb ink, which means that less ink is likely to seep out onto the paper and create a bigger mark than I want. With a small brush, I can better control the size of the mark I want to make. With more skill, one might be able to achieve similar mark making using the tip of a large brush, but they would have to move very quickly and apply a very small amount of pressure. The slower the brush moves and the harder it is pressed into the paper, the more ink it releases. Until I have that level of control, I prefer to work with smaller brushes for detailed areas because it's more practical. And here I'm going in with a little bit more dry brush technique, trying to get some darker values. Okay, and here you'll see my hands at the top of the painting. I'm actually working on it upside down. I'm using this because it's easier to flick the brush away from me than towards me, and I want the feathers to have pointed tips. You can view more art on my Facebook page, and paintings are available for purchase on Etsy. Thanks for watching!